G'day guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video we're going to be going through my round 4 AFL tips and predictions for season 2023. Sorry for getting this video out a bit later than expected. I was a little bit busy during the end week of school, however nonetheless we're here today. I was just prioritising a few other things rather than the tips video, but nonetheless we're here today to go through my tips for the round. I am currently filming this on the Good Friday as well, so obviously Brisbane Collingwood played last night. However, I'll just go through my tips as if it was before that game. If you guys do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and without further ado, we'll get straight into it. So obviously Brisbane and Carlton played last night at the Gabba, and I did end up tipping the Pies by 64 points. That is possibly the worst tip you could have bloody done. I tipped Collingwood by 64, but I also said in the back of my head, Brisbane at home, they just beat the D's there a couple of weeks ago. However, they looked a bit shaky after the lights went off, so I wasn't sure. But yeah, the Lions at the Gabba are just going to be outstanding this year. However, away from home, I'm not sure. I feel like they were a bit shaky, obviously losing to the Dogs and losing to bloody Port Adelaide in round 1 at Adelaide Oval as well. So I feel like at home you can't really tip against Brisbane, but away from home it's really anyone's game. And yeah, well, now that I know for a fact Brisbane are good at home, I will not be making that mistake again. However, I did tip Collingwood by 64 and I was off by 97 bloody points, so a shocking start to the round. Today we have a Good Friday footy between the Kangas and the Blues. Marvel Stadium, 4:20 PM, so a few hours time until this game does get underway. And look, I'm actually excited to just be sitting back, relaxing, watching a bit of footy on the Good Friday. Not sure if I'll do anything in the background, or I might set up a stream, who knows. However, I'm going to go ahead and back in the baggers to get this one done. Look, North haven't been too bad. However, they dropped the game against Hawthorn last week, which has just sort of lost all my hope in them. Seriously, how do they beat Freo? But then, yeah, lose to Hawthorn. So, back at Marvel Stadium, you never know, because North at home, they could be a better side. However, Carlton have been pretty bloody good this season, sitting third on the table. 95% of tippers have tipped the baggers as well, so they're heavy favourites coming to the matchup. Tip Carlton get this one done by 12 points. It's either going to be a little bit of a thriller, or it's just going to be a smashing either way. I feel like it's either going to be a close, thrilling game at Marvel Stadium, or the Blues are just going to run away and accelerate away from the Kangaroos. So I'm going to tip a 12-point margin for the baggers to get it done. However, not too sure about the margin. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on to the Saturday games now. We've got Adelaide versus Freo at Adelaide Oval. And the Crows have odds to beat us at Adelaide Oval. It's just not a good start to the year for the Dockers. If you guys are new to the channel, I do go for Freo. Look, I'm going to obviously back in the Dockers because you can't really tip against your own team. And whenever I do tip against like my own team, they always seem to get up as well. So ever since I tipped them against Melbourne last year when we beat them at the G, I've not tipped against them since, and well, fair enough. So yeah, Adelaide heavy favourites coming into this matchup though at home. Look, I'm not confident whatsoever. I genuinely don't know if we'll get this done or not. I'm going to tip us, but I don't think we'll win this. We've had a very, very shaky start to the season, and it'll be very, very nice just to steady the ship with a victory over Adelaide in Adelaide. However, I just don't see it happening, so look, hoping for a win, bloody hoping for a win. However, I'm not even sure if I'll be able to watch this game because I should be in the stands at the MCG cooking up a bit of a feed pre-game for Richmond and the Doggies. But I'm going to back in the Dockers. However, Adelaide probably will get over us. Richmond v the Doggies at the MCG, 4:35 PM. Richmond have heavy favourites to get this one done, as the Doggies are sitting 16th on the ladder. The Tigers are sitting 9th. 83% of tippers have tipped Richmond, and I'm going to join that 83% of tippers as well, because look, obviously the Doggies did pick up a great win against Brisbane last week to get their victories underway for season 2023. However, the Tigers have been just that little bit better than the Dogs this season, and I feel like they're just a much better team and just a much more high chemistry within the group, I guess. I feel like the ball movement and the Tigers, just everything is a lot cleaner and a lot more organised than what is going on at the Dogs at the moment. So I'm going to back in the Tigers to get it done. I'm going to tip them to get it done by 27 points. However, the margin could certainly vary in this contest. Saturday night footy at Marvel Stadium. We've got the Saints and the Suns. Now, this one's a bit of an interesting one. The Saints have actually... Fuck, what am I saying? How's it a bit of an interesting one? The Saints are... I'm tipping the Saints. I've had the Saints tip there the whole time. I don't know why, so it's a bit of an interesting one. Because I look at the ladder, 15th v first. I've got the Saints. I've had to have really, really bloody good starts of the season. Going to back in the Saints to get this done. However, I don't think it'll be as big as a margin as people think. I'm going to tip them by... I think it'll be 28 points or 21 points. I'll go 21 points. And look, the Saints have just been outstanding to start off the season. No one expected this. Ross the Boss back in charge for the Saints, and he's doing absolute bits down in Marat. They did just pick up a win against the reigning premiers at their home deck, which is great to get their wins underway for season 2023. However, I feel like travelling to Marvel and to beat the Saints is a very big task, and I just don't think they're up for the challenge. Last game on the Saturday, we head over to the SCG to see Sydney take on Port Adelaide. Sydney sitting 5th, Port Adelaide sitting 14th. Just going to be backing in the Swans every day of the bloody week on this one. At home, I feel like Sydney is going to be a real dominant force. And against the Power, who haven't done too much, they beat Brizzy in round 1, but have done absolutely fuck all since. They got smacked in the showdown last week, and the week before they got smacked at the G by bloody 12 goals against the Pies. So don't feel like they'll have a chance in this one. However, genuinely a bit curious to see how they'll go back at home and see if they pick up another win at home, because they could be quite a similar side to Brisbane in the way that they just win games at home and do nothing away from home. So backing in the Swans, going to go 58 points. I feel like it could be a bit of an ugly one for the Power, and look, I just feel like away from home they're just not going to be able to do much. Heading on to Easter Sunday footy, 2:10 p.m. at Marvel Stadium, we see the Bombers take on the Giants. And the Bombers are heavy favourites to get this one done at home, as they haven't had the worst starts of the year. If anything, a pretty bloody good start to the year. And the Giants, well, a bit average. Going to be backing in the Dons to get this done. I feel like at Marvel Stadium, they're just been really bloody good this year. However, I'm gonna tip the Dons to only get up by 1 point, because I feel like just between these two sides, there's been a bit of a rivalry in the past few years, and they've just been really close contests on record over the past few experiences and encounters that these two sides have come across. At Marvel Stadium, I feel like the Bombers will just get that upper hand over the Giants. However, at Giants Stadium, I feel like it could be a little bit of a different story, but I feel like the Giants will definitely put up a fight against the Dons. It won't be an easy victory, so I'm going to tip Bombers to get it done by a point. Last game on the Sunday, we head over to Optus Stadium to see, well, let's just say West Coast get absolutely pumped by the D's. I'm tipping the D's to get this one done. 39 points. I don't think it'll be that big of a margin, but the D's are just going to be all over West Coast, especially with the injuries. No, I'm definitely going to up that margin. Going to say 70 points on the dot. Feel like with the injuries that West Coast have in hand at the moment, I just don't think they'll stand any chance against the D's. Only 3% of tippers have tipped the West Coast Eagles, as they are in 13th position and have the odds of $8.50 to get this done, compared to $1.07 for the D's. The D's are just going to run all over. I feel like the Eagles genuinely would have put up a fight. Well, they did put up a fight in the Derby. I'll give them that. However, in the end, it ended up exceeding out to a pretty big margin for the Eagles. But I feel like if those just major injuries didn't happen, I genuinely think they would have been a lot closer to a victory. Moving on to the last game of the round, and possibly like genuinely one of the biggest rivalries in AFL at the moment is Geelong and Hawthorn. And I'm really curious to see how this one's going to shape out, because the Cats are sitting last on the table. They're 0-3. The Hawks have picked up a win against North Melbourne last week, who North have had a pretty decent start to their season as well. So at the MCG, you just think that Geelong have to get off the marks here. They can't go 0-4, and especially against Hawthorn. Hawthorn just do have a good record against the Cats in these Easter Monday games, and just against the Cats in general. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks were to get up. However, it's just now or never for the Cats, really. It's just like last week when I tipped the Dogs over the Lions. It's just now or never. They just had to win it, and they did end up winning it. And I feel like it's just the same scenario for the Cats. They've just got to bloody win this one, or else they're just in the mud. They can't start the season 0-4 backing up a flag. It's just a bit of a premiership hangover this year for the Cats, and they just seem to be doing nothing at the moment, but they've just got to pick up this win. They just have to. Gonna tip them to get this one done by 5 points. I reckon it's going to be a very good contest, and it's just a game that you want to watch, whether you're at the G in the stands or you turn on the telly. It's just just that game that you really want to witness and you can't miss out on. That's going to be my tips for round 4. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Obviously, once again, sorry for the late upload on these tips. Got to really get the tips uploads under my belt and really get them out earlier in the week, which I will do for the remainder of the season, hopefully. Anyway guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in my next video.